Chosen one, take a deep breath and let this truth resonate in your spirit. This moment is not by accident. You did not stumble upon this message out of mere chance or happenstance. The universe, in its divine orchestration, has brought you here, and this moment has been prepared for you long before you were even aware of it. It is a message carefully aligned with your journey, a whisper from eternity that meets you right here, right now, exactly when your spirit is ready to hear it. Heaven has been preparing this moment for you, and it is not by chance that you are hearing these words today. You are stepping into a space where everything that has been hidden, every prayer you've whispered in the silence, and every longing of your heart is being answered. This is divine timing, and it's unfolding exactly when it should. At this very point in your life, you are standing at the threshold of a supernatural breakthrough, a moment that has been building behind the scenes for years. You may not have seen the signs, but that doesn't mean they weren't there. Heaven has been working, quietly and deliberately, moving things into place just for you. Even in times when you felt forgotten or overlooked, even in moments of confusion and doubt, heaven was still actively working on your behalf. You were never abandoned. You were never neglected. Instead, you were being prepared in ways you may not have even realized. Divine timing is not about rushing things to happen or forcing open doors that are not ready to open. It's about trusting that when the time comes, everything will unfold exactly as it should. The process that has led you here may not have been quick or easy, but it has been necessary. Every step, every delay, and every quiet moment of waiting was part of a larger, beautiful design. Heaven doesn't move in a hurry. It moves with precision. The divine plan for your life has been written with care, and you are now at the point where everything is aligning perfectly. You may have questioned why things seem to move slowly, why doors that you knocked on didn't open, why opportunities passed you by, or why the breakthroughs you prayed for seemed just out of reach. You may have wondered if the promises you've held on to were just empty words or if they would ever come to fruition. But hear this: nothing in your journey has been wasted. Every single moment, every setback, every quiet season was a necessary part of the preparation for what is now unfolding. You see, in the hidden places, in the moments when you felt like nothing was happening, heaven was at work, shaping you into the person who could hold the blessings about to be released into your life. There's a beautiful truth that I want you to understand. Divine preparation doesn't always look like we expect it to. Often, we expect preparation to be a loud, fast-moving process full of clear signs and immediate rewards. But preparation in the divine realm happens in the quiet, in the places that others can't see, in the moments where it feels like nothing is changing. In those times, when everything seemed still, God was building the foundation that would support the blessings and breakthroughs that are now on the way. He was fortifying your character, expanding your capacity, and strengthening your spirit. What might have felt like stagnation was actually incubation. You were being shaped and molded, made ready for the very breakthrough you are about to experience. Right now, you are at the edge of something significant. You may not feel the full weight of it yet, but you can sense it. There's a stirring in your heart, a quiet excitement building inside you. You may not yet see the full picture, but you can feel the shift in your spirit. The subtle but undeniable tug towards something greater. This is your moment, and heaven is inviting you to step into it. You've been prepared for this breakthrough. It's not just a coincidence that you're here, reading these words, at this precise moment. It's divine timing, and you are right where you need to be. The breakthrough that's coming isn't just a change in circumstances, it's a complete transformation. It's the moment when everything that you've been working toward, everything you've been hoping for, aligns perfectly with God's will for your life. You are about to enter a season where you will see the fruits of your labor, your faith, and your perseverance. But remember, this isn't about forcing something to happen. It's about stepping into what God has already prepared for you. The doors that were once closed will open without resistance. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable will be cleared away. The things that once seemed impossible will suddenly feel attainable. And all of this will unfold not because you fought for it in your own strength, but because you surrendered to divine timing. Let me say this again. The moment you are stepping into was carefully prepared for you. It didn't happen by accident. Heaven has been moving pieces behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in your favor. You may not have seen it all, but trust that everything has been orchestrated with precision. Your silence, your waiting, your quiet battles were all part of this divine plan. Now, as you stand on the threshold of your breakthrough, it's important to remember that this moment isn't a fluke. It's the culmination of divine preparation. You are not here by accident, and neither is this breakthrough. It is the result of heaven's hand at work, weaving together the tapestry of your life with care, precision, and love. Everything you've endured, everything you've learned, and everything you've let go of has led you to this point. And now, heaven is about to reveal the next chapter of your life in a way that will leave no doubt that it was God who moved in your favor. The preparation has been completed, and you are now ready to step into the blessings and favor that have been waiting for you. As this shift begins to unfold in your life, you will feel a new kind of energy within you, a deep, unshakable sense of purpose and clarity. This new season will not be one of struggle or striving. It will be one of ease and divine flow. You have spent so long preparing in the unseen, enduring battles that no one else witnessed, and now you are stepping into the fullness of what you were always meant to become. The hardships that once seemed insurmountable are now the very foundations of your strength. The struggles that once held you back are now the things that will propel you forward. In the past, there may have been moments when you questioned your worth or your ability to rise above your circumstances. You may have wondered why it felt like nothing was moving, why doors seemed to close, and why opportunities slipped through your fingers. But now, looking back, you will begin to see that every seemingly unanswered prayer, every closed door, and every silent season was part of a divine plan. Heaven was never absent. It was just working in ways that were beyond your understanding. In this season of divine unveiling, you are no longer looking for confirmation from the world. You are no longer seeking validation from those who doubted you or overlooked you. This shift will come because of who you have become, not because of who you were waiting for others to see you as. The power of God's timing is undeniable, and this timing was not meant to elevate your life for the sake of showmanship. It's not about proving your worth to anyone. This is about stepping into the identity God has always seen in you. The time for your transformation has arrived, and now you are being revealed as the person you have always been destined to be. As the doors that were once closed swing open, as the opportunities that once seemed out of reach find their way to you, the very essence of your life will begin to carry an undeniable weight of authority and power. This is not a light, fleeting blessing. It is a permanent shift, one that will last. You are stepping into your divine assignment, and everything that has come before this moment has been necessary to equip you for what lies ahead. The weight of the blessings and the responsibilities that are about to enter your life will be substantial, but they will not overwhelm you. Why? Because you have been prepared. The spiritual foundation you have built in the unseen, the lessons you've learned in silence, and the endurance you've cultivated during your quietest and darkest seasons have all led you here. These are not just temporary changes, these are permanent shifts in your life's trajectory. The person you were a year ago, or even a month ago, will not be the same person you are when this breakthrough manifests. This is the moment when everything begins to make sense. The pieces that once felt disconnected are now aligning, and you are standing on the cusp of your divine breakthrough. This is not a new chapter in the story of your life. It's the beginning of the story you were always meant to live. You will begin to see how the struggles of your past have shaped your character, how the delays you once feared were simply periods of divine preparation, and how the silence that once felt like a curse was actually a blessing in disguise. As this transformation unfolds, there will be a clear shift in how others see you. The people who doubted your potential will suddenly be unable to ignore the weight of God's favor upon your life. The people who overlooked you, dismissed you, or misunderstood you will have no choice but to recognize the transformation that has taken place. And it won't be because of your own strength or efforts. It will be because heaven's timing is now at work in you, and God's favor is undeniable. The world will see what you have always known to be true, that you are chosen, and your time has arrived. But even more powerful than the recognition of others will be the recognition you have of yourself. You will step into this new season with a deep sense of peace and authority, knowing that everything you have experienced, every moment of struggle, every time you felt like giving up, every tear you shed has prepared you for this moment. You will no longer be defined by the opinions of others, nor by the struggles of your past. You will be defined by the divine assignment that has been placed on your life, and nothing can shake the authority and power that God is bestowing upon you. This is not just a season of blessings for you alone. It is a season of blessings that will overflow into the lives of others. Your breakthrough will not just be for your own benefit. The transformation you are experiencing will have a ripple effect, reaching those around you, and drawing others into the divine favor and power that is at work in your life. As you step into the fullness of your purpose, you will also be a vessel for the blessings of others. The people who have supported you, prayed for you, and believed in you will also share in the joy of seeing you step into your destiny. As you move into this new season, you will feel the shift from striving to surrender. In the past, you may have fought for everything you received, desperately trying to make things happen on your own terms. But in this new season, you will no longer need to fight. You will no longer need to strive. Instead, you will enter a season of receiving. The blessings that are coming to you are not the result of your own efforts. They are the result of God's timing and favor. This is not about working harder or pushing more. This is about aligning yourself with heaven's purpose for your life and allowing God to take the lead. The shift that is coming will feel effortless, not because things will be easy, but because you will be walking in the flow of God's divine alignment. The battles that once felt like they would break you will no longer have the same weight. The struggles that once seemed impossible will now feel manageable, because you will be walking in divine alignment with your purpose. This shift is not about you doing more. It's about you doing less, surrendering to God's plan, and allowing Him to guide you effortlessly into the blessings He has prepared for you. In this new chapter, the blessings that once felt distant, the opportunities that once seemed impossible, will now appear right in front of you. They will align themselves with your purpose, and they will unfold with ease. What once seemed like a struggle will now feel like a natural flow. This is divine acceleration, and it is coming for you. Heaven is not asking you to chase after your breakthrough anymore. Heaven is telling your breakthrough to find you. And as you step into this new season, remember, it is not just about you. It is about the generations that will follow in your footsteps, the lives that will be touched by the testimony of your journey. Your breakthrough will be a light for others, a living example of the power of God's timing and preparation. The shift that is coming will not only impact your life, it will create a ripple effect that will transform the world around you. So, chosen one, get ready. The shift is not just coming, it is here. And it will be the most powerful revelation of divine timing you've ever experienced. As you stand on the edge of this divine transformation, it's important to recognize that you are no longer the person who entered the silent season. The trials, the struggles, the long nights of unanswered prayers, these were not setbacks, but the very foundation of your divine elevation. Heaven was purifying you through the fire, refining your spirit and your identity, and now you are ready to step into a new season of blessing and favor. This elevation is not an accident. It is not something that just happens. It is a direct result of the work God has been doing in you, and it is your time to rise. This is not the kind of elevation that is based on the world's standards. The world elevates those who strive the hardest, who make the most noise, or who can display their achievements for all to see. But divine elevation operates differently. It is not about being noticed by the masses or achieving things for the sake of accolades. It is about God's recognition of your heart, your faith, and your obedience. And when God elevates, He does so with purpose, aligning your life with His plan, and positioning you for greatness that transcends human understanding. The trials you have faced, the seasons of hardship, the silence you endured, they were all necessary to shape you into the person who is now able to carry the weight of this elevation. This moment of transformation is not just for you. It is a testimony to others of God's favor and faithfulness. As you rise, you will serve as a living witness to what happens when you trust in God's timing and submit to His process. People will look at your life and see the fruit of your quiet obedience. They will see that what once appeared to be struggle was, in fact, preparation for something far greater than they could have imagined. When you step into divine elevation, it is not just about receiving blessings, it is about becoming a beacon of light for others to follow. Your testimony will speak louder than words ever could, and your life will serve as a powerful example of God's faithfulness. Others will see the doors that are opening for you, the favor that surrounds you, and the strength that has been birthed out of your struggles, and they will be inspired to trust God in their own journeys. Your elevation will be a reflection of God's goodness and His ability to turn trials into triumphs, pain into purpose, and silence into a powerful testimony of His glory. Every act of quiet endurance, every tear you shed in solitude, every battle you faced in silence, God saw it all. In a world that often overlooks the small, quiet moments of obedience, heaven has been paying attention. The challenges that seemed unfair, the times you wondered why things weren't happening fast enough, were all part of the preparation process. God was watching how you responded in the dark. He was watching how you kept pressing forward when no one else could see your progress. He was watching how you chose to trust Him even when everything seemed to contradict the promises He had spoken over you. These moments of quiet endurance have now come to fruition. Your obedience, despite the lack of immediate results, has positioned you for divine manifestation. This is a principle of the kingdom of God. What is done in secret, what is cultivated in silence, will eventually be revealed in a powerful way. You did not quit when it would have been easy. You did not give up when it felt like the road ahead was too long. You kept going. You kept trusting. You kept believing, even when there was no tangible evidence of change. And now, as the divine favor begins to pour into your life, you will see the result of every prayer you whispered in the dark, every act of obedience that went unnoticed by the world, and every time you chose faith over fear. This manifestation is not just a reward for your endurance, it is a testament to your character. You have proven to God that you can be trusted with His blessings. The world may have questioned your worth, overlooked your efforts, and doubted your potential, but heaven has seen it all. Heaven has seen your faith, your patience, and your unwavering trust in the process. Now, as you step into the blessings that God has prepared for you, know that this is not a random act of favor. It is the result of years of consistent obedience. As you experience the unfolding of divine favor, understand that it is not just about the blessings themselves. It is about the faithfulness of the one who has been with you every step of the way. God is faithful to complete the work He begins. When He speaks a promise over your life, He doesn't change His mind halfway through. Even when you couldn't see it, even when you felt forgotten, God was still moving on your behalf, shaping the circumstances, aligning people and opportunities, and opening doors that no one could shut. Now, as you step into this new season, you will begin to see the fullness of what God has been preparing for you. The blessings that are about to manifest in your life are not just random occurrences. They are the result of a plan that God has been unfolding for years. A plan that has been woven into the fabric of your journey since the very beginning. Every moment of struggle, every tear, every disappointment, and every victory was all part of this divine tapestry. What you are walking into now is the culmination of divine favor that has been reserved for you, a favor that will be evident to everyone around you. This favor will not be fleeting. It will not be fragile. It will not be something that comes and goes. The favor of God is a lasting, unshakable force that will settle upon your life and remain. People will see the difference in your life, and they will know that it was God who did this. It won't be because of anything you've done in your own strength, but because of the faithfulness of the one who called you, who has been walking with you through every trial, and who has now elevated you to a place of visibility and influence. Your story will serve as a powerful reminder to everyone around you that God's timing is always perfect, and that He rewards those who trust Him with unwavering faith. As you walk in this newfound favor, remember that this is just the beginning. What you're stepping into now is only a glimpse of the fullness that is to come. The doors that are opening for you now are just the first of many. The relationships, opportunities, and blessings that are finding their way to you are just the beginning of what God has prepared. You will see how, over time, every seed you've planted, every act of obedience, every moment of surrender will begin to bear fruit in ways that are beyond your imagination. And as this divine favor manifests in your life, take a moment to reflect on the journey that has brought you here. Every challenge, every setback, every quiet season of waiting was not in vain. It all led you to this moment, the moment when you are ready to receive the blessings that have been waiting for you. The favor you are experiencing is not just for you. It is for everyone who has supported you, prayed for you, and believed in you along the way. Your victory will be their victory as well. This divine favor is not just about personal success. It is about the kingdom of God being revealed through your life. As you walk in the blessings that God is pouring into your life, you will be a witness to others of His power, His goodness, and His faithfulness. Your life will shine as a testimony that, even in the quietest and most difficult seasons, God was working behind the scenes, preparing you for this moment. You are about to walk into a season of unshakable favor. And this season will not only bless you but will also bring glory to God, drawing others to His love and His power. As you step into this new season of favor, remember that you are not just a recipient of blessings, you are a living testimony of God's work. Your journey, your endurance, and your obedience have all been part of God's divine plan. And now you are walking into a season where His glory will be revealed in and through your life. This unveiling of divine favor is not about you. It is about showing the world what God can do when we trust His timing and obey His call. And as you step into this new chapter, know that this favor will be undeniable, not just to you, but to everyone who witnesses the incredible work God has done in your life. As you stand on the precipice of this new season, take a moment to reflect on the profound transformation that has taken place within you. It may not have been immediately obvious, and it may not have been easy, but the changes that have occurred in the unseen depths of your spirit have been more significant than you could have imagined. The quiet seasons you endured were not periods of stagnation. They were the very groundwork for the person you are becoming. The trials, the stillness, and the seemingly endless waiting were all part of a divine process, one that has shaped you, strengthened you, and purified you for the blessings that are now on their way. It's often said that growth requires discomfort, and in your case, this has been undeniably true. You may have walked through seasons where it felt like everything was falling apart, but as you look back, you will see that these moments were not the end of the story. They were the beginning of a deeper transformation. During these silent seasons, when the world around you seemed to stand still, God was quietly working on you, reworking parts of your spirit, aligning you with His will, and preparing you for what was to come. You see, the person who is about to receive the blessings waiting for you is not the same person who started the journey. The process of spiritual transformation is not an overnight change. It is a gradual, sometimes painstaking, refining of your character, your faith, and your spirit. God knew that you needed to be molded into the version of yourself that could handle the magnitude of the blessings He was preparing for you. It wasn't just about the external rewards, it was about preparing your heart, your soul, and your mind to truly step into the purpose He has for you. In those quiet, unspoken moments, when you felt the weight of the world on your shoulders and wondered if you would ever see a breakthrough, God was preparing you in ways that were invisible to you. He was purifying your spirit, removing the things that no longer served you, and aligning your heart with His greater plan. This purification was necessary because the blessings that are about to manifest in your life require a vessel that is clean, aligned, and ready to carry them. The transformation that you underwent during these quiet seasons was not for nothing. It was the very preparation needed to hold the favor and purpose that is about to unfold. The version of you that will now step into this new chapter is equipped with the resilience, wisdom, and discernment necessary to navigate the blessings that are coming. You have undergone a purification process, a shedding of old mindsets, insecurities, and patterns that no longer serve you. This transformation is not just about external success. It is about becoming the person who can fully embrace and carry the weight of the divine calling on your life. God trusted you with silence, with stillness, and with waiting, knowing that this period of quiet would lead to the most powerful spiritual growth. The waiting seasons were not a punishment. They were necessary for your growth. In the silence, God was cultivating your inner strength, building your character, and deepening your faith. You were learning to trust, not just in the promises of God, but in His timing, His process, and His wisdom. God knew that in order for you to fully embrace the blessings that are coming, you had to go through the transformation that has occurred during these quiet, hidden seasons. He trusted that you would not just wait passively, but would allow the waiting to be a time of active preparation. He trusted that you would use this time to grow deeper in your relationship with Him, to refine your purpose, and to cultivate the inner peace that would carry you through the next season. The silence was necessary. In a world that often values noise, action, and immediate results, the divine process is often slow and quiet. But it is in the quiet that God does some of His most profound work. He trusted you with this silence because He knew that you would not waste it. Instead, you allowed it to shape you, to teach you patience, and to strengthen your character. This is not a process that everyone is willing to undergo. Many people run from the silence, trying to fill the void with noise, distractions, or quick fixes. But you stayed. You waited. You allowed God to work on you in the hidden places. God trusted you with the quiet because He knew you were strong enough to handle it. While others may have been discouraged, lost, or frustrated by their own waiting seasons, you held on. You kept moving forward, even when it felt like you were getting nowhere. You kept praying, kept trusting, and kept choosing faith. And now, because you were faithful in those quiet seasons, you are ready to step into the blessings and elevation that have been prepared for you. The silence you endured was not a setback. It was a divine pause. God knows that in order for you to fully step into His blessings, you need to be in the right spiritual position to receive them. And sometimes, that means stepping away from the noise, the distractions, and the busyness of life in order to realign yourself with His purpose. This time of quiet wasn't wasted, it was necessary. God used this time to mold you, shape you, and prepare you in ways that could not have happened in the hustle and rush of life. You see, the quiet seasons were not just about waiting for the breakthrough. They were about preparing you to handle it. God was building the foundation for what is about to come. He was allowing you to grow into the person who could steward the blessings that are about to unfold. The silence created the space for your spirit to mature and be refined. And now, as the silence lifts and the blessings begin to pour in, you will be able to handle them with grace, wisdom, and strength. This divine pause was not a delay. It was a period of alignment. It was in this time that God aligned your heart, your mind, and your spirit with His greater purpose for your life. He knew that you would need to be fully aligned with Him in order to step into the fullness of what He has for you. The silence wasn't about waiting for something to happen. It was about becoming the person who could receive everything God had been preparing. Now, as you emerge from this time of silence, you are stronger, more aligned, and more spiritually mature than ever before. You have been shaped and purified through the quiet seasons, and now, you are ready to embrace the blessings that God has been preparing for you. The purification process has cleared away the things that were holding you back, the old patterns, the doubts, and the fears. You are emerging from this season with a clarity and confidence that you didn't have before. The version of you that God has been preparing during these quiet seasons is now stepping into a new season of favor and blessing. You are no longer the person who began this journey. You are someone who has been refined through fire, shaped by trials, and aligned with God's purpose. You have undergone a transformation, and now you are ready to walk in the full manifestation of what God has prepared. This transformation didn't happen overnight, and it didn't come without challenges. But it has equipped you with the resilience and wisdom necessary to handle the blessings and opportunities that are now opening up to you. The quiet seasons were not periods of punishment. They were periods of divine preparation for a life that is about to unfold in ways you never imagined. Now, as you step into this new season, remember that the silence wasn't a sign of God's absence. It was a sign of His presence, working quietly behind the scenes to prepare you for what was coming. And now that the silence is lifting, you are stepping into the fullness of His promises, ready to receive the blessings that have been waiting for you all along. As you reflect on the silent seasons, it's important to understand that God's plan for you was never delayed, it was refined. What you experienced as a pause was in fact a sacred waiting period. It was a space where God was aligning not just your circumstances, but your character. It was in this time that He sharpened your discernment, expanded your capacity for patience, and taught you to trust in His process even when it wasn't clear. God knew that in order for you to step into the favor that is now being released, you had to be spiritually, emotionally, and mentally ready to receive it. The pauses in your life weren't wasted moments, they were God's way of preparing you for the weight of the blessings that would soon unfold. If everything had been given to you too early, if the breakthrough had come when you first asked for it, you may not have had the capacity to fully hold and steward it. The process was not about delay, but about making you stronger, purer, and more aligned with His timing. God trusted you with silence because He knew you would use it to grow. This is the nature of divine preparation. It takes time. Just as the earth takes time to produce fruit, so too does the soul take time to mature and bear fruit. There are seasons when you cannot rush the process. There are seasons when the only thing required of you is to trust. And this is exactly what you've done. Through all the quiet moments, all the stillness, you have trusted that something bigger was at work. Even when you couldn't see the fruit of your labor, you held on to the belief that God was doing something deep within you. Now, as you stand at the threshold of your breakthrough, it's time to embrace what's coming. This moment is not the beginning of your elevation. It is the unveiling of what has been built in secret. Your obedience in those quiet, unseen moments has prepared you for what's about to unfold. You are now entering a season where everything will align in your favor, where the efforts you've put forth, the seeds you've sown, and the prayers you've whispered will suddenly bear fruit in ways you've never imagined. This is the part of your journey where you step into the fullness of your spiritual maturity. As you look at your life now, compared to when you first began this journey, you will realize how far you've come. The experiences, the struggles, the quiet growth have all shaped you into someone who is ready to carry the weight of the blessings about to unfold. What once felt impossible, overwhelming, or out of reach, now feels attainable. Why? Because your spiritual maturity has created the capacity to hold what's coming. Spiritual maturity is not just about knowing the right scriptures or praying the right prayers. It is about the deep work God has done in you, refining your heart and your spirit, making you ready for the life you are about to enter. It's about the wisdom that comes from having walked through seasons of trial and silence, only to come out on the other side stronger and more aligned with God's purpose for your life. You are no longer who you were when you first started this journey. You have been transformed, not through ease, but through endurance. You have been shaped and refined by God in the quiet moments, and now you are emerging as a person capable of handling the blessings and the responsibilities that are coming your way. You have learned how to walk in humility, how to trust even when the road was unclear, and how to remain faithful even when everything around you seemed to be falling apart. Trusting God's process is no easy task, especially when it feels like nothing is happening. There were times when you questioned why the doors weren't opening, why the answers weren't coming, and why the promises seemed so far away. But those moments of stillness were crucial. They were the moments when God was not only preparing you for the blessings, but He was also shaping your heart and strengthening your faith. In the silence, God was working on your character, teaching you patience, and refining your ability to wait. You learned how to stand firm in your faith, even when there was no evidence to support it. You learned how to hold on to hope when the circumstances seemed hopeless. And now, as you step into this new season, you will see the fruit of that trust. You will see how every moment of patience, every act of surrender, and every step of obedience has led you here, to the place where you are ready to receive what God has been preparing. The waiting was not in vain. It was the process through which your faith was deepened and your trust in God's timing was solidified. The strength that you possess today is the result of the trials you endured in silence, the moments when you felt abandoned, and the times when you doubted yourself. Yet through it all, you continued to move forward, trusting that God was working behind the scenes, even when you couldn't see it. And now, as you emerge from that season of waiting, you will see that every tear, every quiet sacrifice, and every moment of doubt was not wasted. They were all part of God's divine plan to prepare you for this moment. You are now stepping into a season of divine manifestation, where all the things you've hoped for, prayed for, and believed for are beginning to unfold before you. As you embrace the new version of yourself that has been shaped in the quiet, understand that you are walking in divine alignment now. This alignment is not about forcing things to happen or striving to make your dreams come true. It is about trusting that God's timing is perfect and that His plan for you is unfolding exactly as it should. Everything that you have gone through, the waiting, the trials, the moments of silence, has been leading to this moment of divine alignment. When you are aligned with God's will for your life, things begin to fall into place effortlessly. Opportunities will appear where there once seemed to be none. Relationships will form that align with your purpose, and the blessings that have been prepared for you will begin to manifest in ways that you couldn't have imagined. The alignment you are experiencing now is not about you trying to figure everything out on your own. It is about you trusting that God has already worked out the details and that all you need to do is step into His will with faith. You've done the work in the hidden places. You've surrendered to His process. And now, you are walking into a season where everything begins to unfold with ease. As you step into this new season, understand that it is not a season of striving or fighting for what is yours. It is a season of receiving. All the waiting, all the quiet preparation, has led to this moment where you no longer have to chase your blessings. They will come to you. As you walk in alignment with God's timing, you will begin to experience the favor that has been waiting for you. God's favor isn't earned, it is a gift. And as you enter this new season, you will experience favor in abundance, favor in your relationships, favor in your work, favor in your health, and favor in your spirit. You will no longer have to fight for what belongs to you. It will be drawn to you because your spirit is now aligned with divine timing. This is the season where everything you've hoped for will begin to manifest. The breakthroughs you've prayed for, the doors you've knocked on, and the dreams you've held in your heart are now coming to fruition. And as you step into this new chapter, you will walk with confidence, knowing that everything you've endured, everything you've learned, and every moment of patience has prepared you to receive the blessings that are now unfolding in your life. As you stand on the threshold of your breakthrough, it is important to recognize that what you are about to experience is not just a reward for your endurance and faithfulness. It is a profound and powerful sign that heaven has been at work in your life all along. The breakthrough you are stepping into is not a random event or an isolated moment of good fortune. It is the manifestation of God's divine plan, carefully designed for you, shaped through every trial, every quiet season, and every act of obedience that you've lived through. This is a moment that will testify to God's faithfulness, and it is a moment where the invisible work of heaven will suddenly become visible to all. The breakthrough you are about to receive is not a stroke of luck. It is not a coincidence, nor is it a mere accident of time. This breakthrough carries with it the unmistakable signature of God's hand. You see, every season you've walked through, every moment of uncertainty, every time you thought you were being left behind, God was working, orchestrating the pieces of your story to align perfectly with His timing and His will. And now, the culmination of that divine orchestration is about to be revealed. What you are stepping into now is the result of heaven's design, carefully crafted from the very beginning. The blessings that are coming to you have been waiting for you. They've been set aside specifically for this moment in your life. They have been prepared for you, and only you, because God knew that you would be the one who could handle them, carry them, and use them to fulfill the divine purpose He has placed within you. This is not just a personal breakthrough. It is a demonstration of God's faithfulness. Every prayer you've prayed, every quiet sacrifice, every long season of waiting was not in vain. Heaven has been working behind the scenes to bring about this moment, and now you are stepping into a season where all that has been built in silence will be revealed in the fullness of God's glory. This breakthrough is not a fleeting moment. It is the evidence of God's enduring love and His unshakable commitment to you. It is the confirmation that He has been with you every step of the way, guiding you, strengthening you, and positioning you for the blessings that are now about to unfold. God's signature on this blessing is unmistakable. This breakthrough is not the result of your own strength or effort. It is the work of heaven, unfolding precisely when the time is right. The doors that are about to open for you will not open because you knocked the loudest or because you worked the hardest. They will open because the time has arrived for you to step into what God has been preparing for you all along. His favor and His timing are now in full alignment with your life, and you will begin to see everything that was once hidden become visible. For so long, your life may have been misunderstood, overlooked, or even dismissed by those around you. There were seasons where your struggles were invisible to others, where your efforts seemed unnoticed, and where your heartache went unseen. People may have questioned your path, doubted your potential, or assumed that you were destined for failure because of the silence and the trials you endured. But what they didn't realize was that your journey was not a sign of defeat, it was a sign of divine preparation. Now, as this breakthrough unfolds, you will no longer have to fight for recognition or validation. The doors that once seemed closed will swing open effortlessly, not because of anything you have to prove, but because God has aligned everything in your favor. What was once hidden in darkness will now be brought into the light, and what was once considered a weakness will now be revealed as a testament to your strength. The silence, the waiting, and the struggles, once perceived as signs of failure, will now be the very things that validate your worth and your purpose. The people who once misunderstood you will begin to see the value of your journey. They will recognize the anointing on your life, the divine favor that has been with you every step of the way, and they will be forced to confront the truth of God's hand upon your life. Your life, which may have once been filled with confusion and doubt, will now be a clear and undeniable display of God's faithfulness. And this revelation will not just be for you, it will be a testimony to everyone around you. This vindication will be visible, not in the sense of pride or arrogance, but in the unmistakable peace, grace, and authority that now surrounds you. You will walk into rooms with a quiet confidence, a divine assurance that cannot be shaken. Your presence will speak for itself, and your story will serve as a living testimony of God's faithfulness. The favor that is on your life will be evident to all, and the doors that were once closed will begin to open wide in alignment with your divine assignment. For so long, you may have focused on the struggles, the moments when you felt rejected, unseen, or overlooked. And while those moments were real, they were not the full picture. Now that you are stepping into this season of divine elevation, you will begin to see things in a new light. The struggles that once seemed overwhelming will begin to fade into the background, replaced by a new perspective, one where God's hand is unmistakably at work in your life. The shift that is coming is not just external, it will also be internal. You will no longer see yourself as someone who is merely surviving. You will begin to see yourself as someone who is thriving, someone who has been shaped and strengthened by God's love and His process. The trials you endured will no longer be seen as obstacles. They will be seen as stepping stones that led you to this very moment. Every hardship, every tear, and every moment of doubt was part of the divine preparation that is now manifesting as favor. As this shift unfolds, your life will no longer be defined by the struggle. It will be defined by the divine favor that has been placed on you. The pain, the heartache, and the confusion will give way to clarity, purpose, and blessing. You will no longer have to prove yourself to anyone. Your life will be the proof. The breakthrough that is unfolding now will be a sign to the world that you were never forgotten, never forsaken, and never abandoned. You were always being prepared for this moment of vindication and visibility. This season of breakthrough and vindication is not just about receiving blessings, it is about stepping into the fullness of your divine purpose. The blessings that are coming are not just for your personal gain, they are part of a greater plan that God has for you. You were not simply born to survive, you were born to thrive, to impact the lives of those around you, and to fulfill the divine calling that has been placed on your life. As the doors open for you, as the opportunities find their way to you, and as the favor of God pours into your life, remember that this season is not just about personal success. It is about the fulfillment of your purpose. Your life, now fully visible, will serve as a beacon of hope and encouragement to others. People will see your story, and they will be inspired by your perseverance, your faith, and the divine favor that now rests upon you. This is the moment when everything you have gone through, the waiting, the silence, the trials will make sense. You are now stepping into the life you were always meant to live. Your breakthrough is not just for you, it is for the generations that will follow, for the people who will be touched by your testimony, and for the divine purpose that is now coming into full view. Your life will be a living testimony of God's faithfulness, His love, and His timing. As you step into this season, know that you are not just walking into favor, you are walking into your purpose. The doors that are opening for you are not just opportunities for success, they are opportunities to fulfill the divine calling that God has placed on your life. And as you walk through them, remember that this moment of vindication and visibility is not just a result of your hard work. It is the manifestation of God's hand, working in your life, and through your life, for His glory. This is your moment. The breakthrough is here. The doors are opening. The favor is undeniable. And you, chosen one, are stepping into the fullness of God's plan for your life. The journey has been long, but now, the favor and vindication you've been waiting for will be revealed in the most powerful and visible way. You are no longer overlooked. You are seen. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. And the world will soon see the incredible work that God has done in your life. As you continue to step into the fullness of your breakthrough, it's important to recognize that this moment of divine vindication is not just about what is happening externally. It's also about the transformation that has taken place within you. The person you are becoming is someone who can hold the weight of the blessings and the favor that are now unfolding. The struggles, the battles, the times of silence they've all been part of, shaping you into a person who is spiritually, emotionally, and mentally ready for what's coming. The breakthrough is a reflection of your growth. It is the manifestation of the work God has done in you, in the quiet moments when no one was watching. It is the result of your faithfulness, your obedience, and your trust in God's timing. And now, as the blessings begin to flow into your life, they will not only change your circumstances, they will reveal the depth of your character, your strength, and your unwavering faith in God's plan. As you experience this breakthrough, your perspective will shift. You will no longer see yourself as the person who struggled or the one who was overlooked. Instead, you will see yourself as someone who has been called, chosen, and anointed for a divine purpose. Your identity will no longer be tied to the pain, the rejection, or the misunderstandings of the past. It will be rooted in the truth of who you are, in God's eyes, anointed, chosen, and destined for greatness. People will begin to recognize your value and the anointing that rests on your life. Your presence will carry an undeniable weight of authority, peace, and purpose. The very things that once seemed impossible for you to achieve will now fall into place effortlessly. Doors will open because God is positioning you for greatness, not because you're forcing them open. Relationships that were once strained or distant will now align with your divine purpose. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will now come to you naturally, because you are walking in divine alignment with God's will for your life. This divine alignment doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of everything you've endured and every lesson you've learned along the way. You are stepping into a season where favor follows you, opportunities seek you out, and God's blessings are evident in every area of your life. This is a season where you no longer have to chase after your dreams. They will come to you, drawn by the weight of your purpose and the alignment of your spirit. This breakthrough also signals a time of restoration and recompense. What you lost, what you sacrificed, and what was stolen from you in previous seasons is being restored. But God doesn't just restore, He recompenses. This is a time when God will give back to you what was taken, but He will give it back in abundance. The favor and blessings you are about to experience will not just match what you lost, they will far exceed it. This is a season of divine restitution, where God's goodness will be poured out in such a way that it will leave you in awe of His faithfulness. You will look back on the seasons of pain and struggle and see how every moment of hardship was preparing you for this season of favor. What seemed like a loss was actually a setup for the breakthrough that was always meant to come. What you thought was stolen was actually being preserved for this divine moment of vindication. Heaven was not just watching you suffer, it was preserving and protecting you for the very purpose that is about to unfold. Now, as you walk into this season of restoration, know that every tear you shed, every prayer you prayed, and every moment of struggle was not in vain. God has seen it all, and He is now rewarding your faithfulness. The seasons of waiting are over, and now you are stepping into a time where your life will bear witness to the truth of God's promises. You will experience restoration in your relationships, your finances, your health, and your spirit. What was once broken is being made whole again, and it will be even better than it was before. As you step into this new season, you will walk with a new level of confidence and peace. You will no longer be looking over your shoulder, wondering when your breakthrough will come. You will be living in the fullness of what God has promised you. This is not a moment of fleeting success. It is a lasting, unshakable breakthrough that will continue to unfold as you walk in alignment with God's purpose. God's promises are yes and amen, and now you are walking in the reality of those promises. This breakthrough is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter where every step you take will be guided by God's wisdom and favor. As you walk in His plan for your life, you will continue to experience breakthroughs, favor, and alignment with your divine purpose. Every door that opens will be evidence of God's hand on your life. Every opportunity that comes your way will be a confirmation that you are exactly where God wants you to be. This is a season where you will no longer struggle or strive for what is already yours. Your alignment with God's timing will make every step feel effortless, because you are walking in divine favor. You will see the fruit of your labor, the seeds you've planted, and the faith you've held on to. You will experience the joy of living in the fullness of God's blessings, knowing that, as you step into this new season of divine favor, expect to see your life change in ways that you've only dreamed of. Expect to see the things that once felt impossible now unfold before you. Expect the doors that were once closed to swing wide open. Expect the relationships that once felt strained to be restored. Expect the favor of God to surround you in everything you do. This is a season of new beginnings, where you will see the evidence of God's promises coming to life in your life. This is your time to shine, to step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. You are no longer walking in the shadows of doubt or confusion. You are walking in the light of divine purpose, with a clarity that can only come from God's hand upon your life. As you step forward, remember that this is not just a personal victory. It is a victory that will inspire others to trust in God's timing and His process. Your breakthrough will serve as a testimony to everyone who has watched your journey, and they will see the truth of God's faithfulness through your life. You are stepping into a season where you are no longer just surviving, you are thriving, and the world will see it. You are walking into your divine assignment, and everything is about to align. The doors that once resisted you will now open without hesitation. The relationships that once drained you will now be filled with peace and purpose. The opportunities that once slipped through your fingers will now come to you effortlessly. This is your moment, chosen one. This is your season of vindication and divine favor. Your life is about to be unveiled in ways that will astound you and everyone around you. The waiting is over. The breakthrough is here. As you stand at the threshold of this new chapter, it's important to recognize the profound shift that has occurred within you. No longer are you walking in the shadows of doubt and confusion. The seasons of uncertainty, of feeling overlooked, and of struggling with unanswered questions have passed. You are stepping into a new chapter of your life, where clarity, purpose, and divine alignment await. This moment, this season, is the culmination of everything you have gone through. The trials, the waiting, the endurance, all of it has brought you here, to this exact point in your journey. The blessings that once seemed distant, almost impossible to reach, are now at your doorstep. What you once hoped for, prayed for, and dreamed about is now within your grasp. You are entering a season of supernatural acceleration, where the things that once felt delayed or out of reach will now manifest with remarkable speed. God's favor is aligning with your purpose, and the doors that were once closed are now swinging wide open, ready to reveal a future that is brighter and more aligned with your divine destiny than ever before. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer in the season of wondering when things will change, or if they will change. The waiting season has passed, and now you are stepping into your divine purpose. This is the moment you have been preparing for. Even when you couldn't see the preparation happening, you were not idle during your waiting. You were being molded, shaped, and aligned with the perfect will of God. Every step you took in silence, every act of obedience in the quiet, every tear shed in uncertainty, has been part of a greater plan that is now unfolding before you. As you move forward, everything will begin to align with the true purpose God has for you. The confusion and doubt that once clouded your vision will no longer have a place in your life. You will walk with a new sense of clarity, knowing that the path before you is straight and clear, guided by divine purpose and heavenly favor. This clarity is not just a feeling, it is a knowing, deep within your spirit, that everything is falling into place, as it was always meant to. This new chapter is not just a continuation of what has come before. It is a completely new season, where you will begin to see the full manifestation of God's promises. The opportunities, the relationships, the blessings, and the purpose that once felt distant are now unfolding at your feet. This is your moment. This is your time to step into the fullness of everything you've worked for, prayed for, and believed for. Now that you are stepping into this new chapter, it's time to embrace the divine timing that has been guiding your journey all along. This is no longer a season of striving or fighting to make things happen. This is the season of receiving. The doors that were once closed will now open with ease, and the opportunities that once seemed impossible will now align perfectly with your purpose. You are not chasing after success. You are walking into it, effortlessly, because you are now aligned with God's perfect timing. This is the season of surrender, not surrendering to failure or defeat, but surrendering to the divine plan that has been unfolding for your life. You no longer need to worry about the details or the timeline because everything is already in motion. Heaven has already prepared the way for you, and now it is your time to step into the fullness of everything that has been prepared. You have done the hard work. You have remained faithful, even when things were difficult, and now you are stepping into a season of favor, blessing, and supernatural acceleration. Embrace this moment with confidence, knowing that the timing is perfect. You are no longer the person who doubted or wondered if things would ever change. You are the person who has been refined, shaped, and aligned with divine purpose. And now, as heaven reveals the next chapter of your life, you can move forward with peace and assurance, knowing that everything is falling into place. You are exactly where you are meant to be. As you move forward into this new chapter, know that you are walking in alignment with God's divine plan for your life. This alignment is not something you have to force. It is something that is happening naturally because you have stayed true to the process. You have trusted God's timing, even when it didn't make sense, and now you are stepping into the fullness of what He has always had in store for you. With this alignment comes a deep sense of peace. The turmoil, the confusion, the uncertainty, all of it will fade as you walk in the light of your divine purpose. You no longer have to question whether you are on the right path or if you're missing something. You are exactly where you need to be. The peace that comes from this alignment is not a fleeting moment. It is a constant, steady force that will guide you in every decision, every opportunity, and every relationship. You have arrived at a place where your purpose and your passion are aligned with God's will. The struggles that once seemed overwhelming will now feel like distant memories, because you are walking in a new level of peace, power, and purpose. The questions that once plagued you will be replaced with clarity. The fear that once held you back will be replaced with boldness, and the uncertainty that once clouded your future will be replaced with unwavering confidence. As you walk into this new chapter, remember that everything you need is already within you. The blessings, the purpose, and the opportunities that are about to unfold have already been designed for you. The waiting was not wasted. It was the process that brought you here, to this moment, to this divine alignment. And now, you are ready to receive the fullness of what God has prepared for you. The breakthrough you've been praying for is not just coming, it is already here. It is within you. It is in your spirit, your heart, and your life, and it is now time for you to step into it. Trust that God has already made a way for you. Trust that the blessings you have been waiting for are already yours, and now it is time for you to receive them. You are walking into the next chapter of your life with confidence, peace, and the knowledge that everything is falling into place according to God's perfect timing. This is your season of divine favor, supernatural acceleration, and divine purpose. And as you step into it, you can do so with the certainty that everything you've endured, everything you've waited for, and everything you've prayed for is now aligning perfectly in your favor. The time is now. You are walking in divine alignment, and nothing can stop the flow of blessings that are about to overwhelm you. This is your moment. Step into it with faith, confidence, and peace, knowing that God is with you every step of the way.